What's going on, guys? Gast here doing a podcast reply to me. I had a tweet that basically asked, hey guys, why don't you ask me questions on Twitter? And I will try to answer them in a podcast. So, we're here now. I'm back from job training. It's been a wild week for me. Last 2 weeks have just been absolutely crazy. I still don't have internet. The internet people were supposed to come today, but I was still stuck in the city, so I couldn't get it. Now I have to wait till next Wednesday, which is gonna suck, but it is what it is. At least I have wireless on my laptop, and I'm sharing it. See, the biggest problem is that I lost my USB adapter, like my USB Wi-Fi adapter thingy for my desktop, which doesn't have Wi-Fi built into it. And if I would have that, then everything would be fine, and I could upload Heroes videos and stuff like that. But I don't have that, so it's kind of like screwing with everything right now. Anyways, doesn't matter. I'm gonna talk about Olivia. Not Olivia. I don't know why I said that. I'm reading her supports, and I'm talking to someone who's in my little circle that I speak with about the support science. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about your questions and answer them. So, the real Vector asks, who is your favorite Fire Emblem lady? Off the top of my head, I would have to say, I don't know. I did have a crush on Tanith, though. I will say that. When I was a kid, when I played Path of Radiance back in 2005, I crushed on her. I thought she was really, really cute, really cool. I actually like her character too. I like her personality. So who else do I really like? I don't know. That's too specific of a question, dude. You also ask who would win in a fight, the whole cast of Sacred Stones or Dusel? Dusel would, of course. What type, Steven, at Megamaster 1021, what type of banner would you want in Heroes? Sacred Stones, including Dusel, Brave Dusel, Halloween Dusel, and Halloween Molder, and normal Molder. A five character banner, 4 Dusels and one Molder, or something. I don't know what I said. Nekoboo at Nekoblue. Where's a good starting point with FE ROM hacking and modding? I've been kind of interested in the scene for some time now. Dude, I don't even know. There's new programs coming out. I've only been sticking to what I know. There's so much new stuff. My tutorials are probably outdated because there's new programs. There's this emblem magic thing. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Just people don't some people the new age of Fire Emblem hackers use They abandoned FE Editor, and they abandoned Nightmare and shit, and now they're only using Event Assembler and this new program, which is really intuitive apparently, that I've never touched because I'm only recently starting to get back into the actual hacking part of hacking, I guess. Esco Tanner at Mian46. List of games in order of how badly they need a remake. How badly they need a remake. Okay. Okay, I think Path of Radiance needs a remake. I think FE6 needs a remake. I think FE4 needs a remake. I think FE10 will be whatever. I don't know. FE10's FE10. Probably at the same time as Path of Radiance if they want to do this big super combo game, which they're probably not going to do because that's wild. I think the game that least needs a remake is I wouldn't be surprised if they made a remastered Awakening edition or something. I don't know. A remake that I would like to see would be Sacred Stones, just in super HD. That's all I want to see, just super HD Sacred Stones. That's it. That's all I want to see with harder difficulty, and that's pretty much it. Gregster at Gregster 1998. Number 1, fuck, marry, kill. Dusel, Molder, Mycen. I would fuck. I don't want to. I don't want to answer that question. I guess I'll have to though. I'd bang. I'd marry Mulder. I would kill Myson, and I would bang Dussel. And number 2, what do you think of Marty? I don't think of Marty at all. I do not think of. I think he's just super memed, and that's him. He's just a really memed out guy with bad stats, and he's good at capturing enemies because he has good build. Matthew Reynolds at Matt Reynolds 98. I remember you said you used to play competitive Melee. Who was your main? My main was Samus. Kylie N at Kylie N. What is your opinion on archetypes? They are good. I don't know. They're fine. And do you like Kaga and Kaga games? I like Gaiden. FE4 is good in some areas, not good in other areas. And FE5 is good in areas and not good in other areas. I've never played I've never played FE1 or 3. Yeah. I don't know. I think Kaga was like experimenting on his own, and he just like tried different things, and some things stuck and some things didn't stick. He was crazy, man. Kaga did some weird stuff, and there were some things that I thought were really cool, and other things that sucked and never came back. So he's, I respect the hustle. I respect him like going all in and like doing these crazy things, like the ambition behind a lot of his maps and, you know, mechanics. That's pretty cool. You don't really see that anymore because I think a lot of people have a good grasp on like strategy RPGs now. So it's like these really stupid mechanics that aren't going to come back, like, are probably not ever going to be made again. Like there's never going to be a Fire Emblem game coming up that's going to have a dumb mechanic like missing heals. Like that's just not going to happen. Okay. Skarmory at JBman3371. Besides Fire Emblem, what else do you play? Nothing. I don't play anything. I don't have time. Fire Emblem, I play. I play because it's fun, and I play because I make content on it, and I have no time to play anything else. Dragon Tony at Dragon 2015. Who is your favorite Fire Emblem villain? Oh God. Probably. I still think it's Orson. I don't know why. I just think that Darling thing is the most like vivid memory I have of like FE8. Favorite Fire Emblem villain? I don't know. Petrion's pretty good. I like her. Yeah. There's one I probably don't remember, but it's good. Kylie N asks another question. Pick one: Kaga to make FE16 or Fates, or Fates team to make FE16. Choose wisely. I would pick the Fates team. I like the gameplay of Fates like really a lot. Like I would rather have the Fates team make FE16 because I think they're just, I like how do I explain this? Kaga made Echoes, or Gaiden rather, and Echoes is a great game. But like, I don't know, because like Echoes redid, like Echoes really remastered Gaiden, I think, and like really made it like up to par, which made it so good for me. But like they already remade Echoes, and I don't really like, I don't hate FE4 and I don't hate FE5, but like I don't super love the gameplay of either game. So but I really love the gameplay of like Conquest, and like the depth that, you know, even though like the writers of Fates, like the support writers of Fates, they did a pretty, you know, decent job. I think, you know, as I'm exploring more of Awakening supports, I think there's more depth than people gave them credit for, myself included. But no, I'd rather have the Fates team do it, I think. I mean, granted, I'd like to see what Kaga does. I mean, I haven't played Visteria Saga, but I guess if you guys wanted to see what Kaga's up to in terms of like the gameplay department, Visteria Saga is his latest one, and apparently that's pretty good. It's not a bad system though. Matthew at BO whatever, a bunch of numbers. Are you excited for Sigurd and how OP he might be? Sure. I don't really pay. I haven't, like I said, I've seen I haven't even like paid attention to the heroes thing. I know I saw the thing. Tiltu's in the game, which I thought was a huge surprise. Aira's there, which is like, okay, cool. Aira's like pretty significant of a character in FE4. Like her kids are pretty important. And her brother, whose name is, I forget his name. But he died in my playthrough of FE4 and Gen 2, so that's cool. Dante D. At Dante D. I was curious about your new job. What are you doing and how are you enjoying it so far? Any complaints or compliments about it? I work as a general manager. I have a management position. I manage people. I have associates. It's pretty wild. The learning curve is extremely high. I work really hard during the work, and I work hard doing extra work doing it. I like it. I like the people. There's lots of stuff to be done. Big hill to climb, but as long as I can strike that work-life balance that I need, then I'll be happy. Mallow out, unofficial Mallow. Is there any character you like in Fire Emblem unit-wise, but is terrible character-wise that has not had a support science? Is there a character you like in a character that I like unit-wise, but not character-wise? That is a good question. I don't know. I actually don't know that. I don't know how to answer that. I don't really remember. Maybe like, no. I'm trying to think of any character that I love to use that I just don't like as a character. I don't know. That's a good question though. I'll have to think about that at another time because I can't really say. Whimsy at Bright Tempest. What did you think of Chapter 4 in Thracia? Which one was that again? It was... Oh, that chapter was bad. That was not 4X. Oh, no, Chapter 4 was the prison one. That was boring. That was a boring chapter to me. Like the one where Leaf is in prison and Lephis is setting everyone, like getting himself free. That one. That was kind of boring. I didn't like... like, it was boring to me, like... I kind of cheesed it. And then when you open the gate, there's like a giant amount of... The thing that I don't like about FE5 is it does this thing where like if you open a door, there's just a bunch of enemies waiting for you that you're in their range. And it's like annoying because you have to like either like strategize around that somehow, even though the door's closed. Like it's annoying. I don't really like it that much. I think the corridor was too wide. You couldn't really choke, and I don't know. I didn't like the chapter that much. It was boring, and then the last part was like, for a first-time player, FE5 is just a pain in the ass if you don't have a guide. More so than FE2 if you don't have a guide, because FE5 FE5 I feel like really tries to screw you over, and you have to know what you're doing right off the bat in the sense that you have a guide to follow. Like every single, like I've never played a Fire Emblem game where anyone who's played it has been like linking me guides and stuff, because they're just like, oh, here's a spoiler free guide of FE5, here's a spoiler free guide of FE5. Granted, I've been asking a bunch of questions regarding units and stuff, but like I don't know. I mean it wasn't terrible. It was okay, I guess. HDL23 at SVC HDLD2. What do you expect should there be an FE4 remake? I'll tell you what. I was thinking about this, and there was this kind of like hold up about FE4's incest, whatever, being like something that the West wouldn't be able to accept. But I think now it doesn't really matter anymore, because like Heroes sort of like made light of the incest thing. Like Heroes made light of the Ephraim and Erica ship. Heroes made light of maybe they didn't make light of Eldigan and Loxus, but I feel like we're at a time with Fire Emblem that if no, they did that. I mean, Shadow Dragon has Marth and Kata like hooking up, or was that FE12 when they hook up at the end? I don't remember, but I think the relationships can stay the same. I mean, it would be cool. I don't know. I kind of remember FE4. Not really. I'm still on chapter 9. I didn't pick it up after I stopped streaming it. I hope they would kind of do the same thing they did with Echoes, in the sense they have supports. I think supports would be good for that game, adding that depth. And I think the character, like fleshing out those characters like they did with Echoes, is something that I would love to see. I would love to see that. I would love to see a character behind Beowulf that's more than his talk conversations. I would love to see Sigurd having a lot more depth than he has in his chapters. I would like to see who are my favorite characters of that game. I would like to see Levin, his dick of a character. Like, he's an actual asshole. He's the worst dad of the year. I would like to see how they handle that with more characters and more depth, and how he would sound and all that crap. I thought he was going to be in Heroes, but he's not, which I found really surprising. He was like super. I didn't know like Tiltiu and Aira would be more popular than him. I don't even know why Aira's in there. Like, she was a random addition. So I was like, why are you like a Tempest Trial character or something that's coming up? Because that'd be neat, I guess. I don't know. 2 questions. Oh, wait. Should there be an FE4 remake? I hope their maps aren't as boring to play. I guess I want to add that in. I hope their maps aren't as boring to play. I hope trading is in that game. I hope rescuing is in that game. Well, no, I guess I shouldn't expect that, because Echoes didn't have rescuing. Did Echoes have rescuing? I actually forget. No, they didn't. They didn't have rescuing. What am I talking about? Yeah, I hope the map design changes, because some of the maps are freaking awful. Like the desert and the backtracking is just, it's not for me. How people like to think it represents the real world in a real war, and how the maps are of large scale and stuff. I'm just like, okay, if you like walking around and wasting turns, have at her, bud. Okay. Neolab FG at Neo Like a Boss. 2 questions. How far are you in 3ACA 776? Didn't get past chapter 13 because I stopped playing after the Pan Support Science. What do you think of it so far? It's okay. It's good. I feel like Thracia is one of those games where you really, really have to be in the mood for it. Like, you can't just like turn your brain off and like play it, because it's Thracia and it's like really, really cryptic and very tough. And you have to think. It's a game that like is, I think, really, you have to strategize around like the units and like the unit placement. And yeah, and I completely cheesed it. Like, I completely cheesed Thracia. I went in chapter 8, I grinded in the arena. I had 70,000 gold by the time I was done. Nana was level 20 paladin because I wanted her to get A rank and stabs, because I didn't want to deal with Safi's stuff, so she can get warp. I gave everyone scrolls. Like, I just completely broke the game. Well, I broke that part of the chain, because like the caps are only 20, which is pretty odd. But yeah, I just had enough of it. Like, I was not in the mindset for Thracia. Like, the difficulty and the thought process and the weirdness of Thracia, I was not about that when I was playing it. I would only enjoy Thracia if I was like super down to like sit down and like play that game, because I don't have the time for a game that freaking weird. I don't have time for a game in my schedule for a game that weird, that takes that long, with the maps that big. I just don't have the time or the interest. The translation is also a pain in the ass. The menu, I mean, you get used to like what the moon runes mean, but like I said, I think Thracia, more than any other game that I've played in Fire Emblem, is a game that really needs you, really forces you to like turn your brain on. Because if you turn your brain off, you're gonna keep like abusing save states and load states and stuff. I did that all the time. I turned my brain off in Path of Radiance, no problem. Turn your brain off in any FEGBA game, no problem. Turn your brain off in Awakening, Fates to a lesser extent, but like those games, sure, like you can do that. But you like Thracia is so, it's so like, I want to say diverse, but I've only played 13 chapters of like the 25 chapters in the game or whatever. So I don't know what happens in the latter half, but it's based on my experience, you can't really turn your brain off and play Thracia. There's a lot to it. There's capturing, and like there's a bunch of micromanagement that is not in like any other game, I don't think. Like capturing is your biggest way to make money and shit. And so and if you're not in that mindset, I don't think you'll enjoy Thracia. So you really have to be dedicated to really sit down and like fight Thracia, because it will fight you. And I wasn't down for that. I just went in, got the pan support science, and got out. What would you like to, okay, Koi Boy at Koi Blitz, what would you like to see in the newest Fire Emblem? I don't know, something fun, something good. Like, these questions are like kind of vague, guys. Like, it's a bit, they're really open-ended questions. What would you like to see in the newest FE? Shoves being naturally a command skill, that'd be sweet. Logiman at Logiman Master, if Marth went over to Valencia and met Alm for the first time, how do you think their conversation would go? Why does your sword look like my sword, but mine is bigger and is called the same thing? I guess. I don't know. Fuck. Sonicu 98. Favorite Fire Emblem ROM hack? Jeez, I don't even remember. FE7X was fun, even though it's a fan game. Yeah. Jeez, these are I don't know how to answer these. The chess emblem hack was the best, I think. That was a friggin' blast and a half from the Make a Fun chapter contest. That was sweet. The Road to Ruin is always nice. Death or Glory was pretty good. Had some parts where I didn't like, but it was pretty solid. And that's all I remember, honestly. Thomas Dawson at TDAWS_MP3132. What do you think is the largest difference between Kaga and post-Kaga design? Well, FE6 and 8, FE6 through 8 was really watered down. Like if we're talking like FE5 to FE6, like I think the only thing that would be like that did stay is like rescuing, which, you know, rescuing was retained, and trading was retained, and like the scale of the maps feel kind of similar, but you know, Kaga just did so much random stuff, and he was like, I feel like he was really trying to like explore our strategy RPGs, and then when you know, I guess the Kaga era ended and FE6 and 7 and 8 came about, they retained some of Kaga's things, but they just really made it accessible. I keep hearing that FE5 was made at a time where strategy books were like really in like the market, so the games were purposely really cryptic and hard to understand in order to sell copies. And I guess maybe that market died down, or people were just pissed because Thracia was like really, I think Thracia was pretty unpopular. and it didn't sell that well. So they really had to open up the market to Fire Emblem, so they watered down everything. I think the biggest difference is just the crypticness is probably a lot less, and the newer games are easier to understand because they kind of hold your hand, which is nicer than just being like, hey, this is a game, figure it out yourself, kid. There's a bunch of mechanics that no one's ever told you about. So thank you, Based Lynn, for your tutorial. Isaiah at Isaiah Pause. How's post-college life treating ya? Gucci. Treating me great. I bought dress shoes today. It's because I wanted dress shoes because I haven't bought dress shoes in forever, and I wear dress shoes every day now. So I just said, screw it. I'm going to buy new dress shoes, and that's what I did. So life's doing good. Hugo at Hugo Fonseca 7. How is the Olivia support science going? Having fun with it? I've finished reading her supports because I had time on the bus to read them. I haven't really started writing anything yet. She is, I mean, based on my first read through of her supports there, she's okay. She has good moments, she has annoying moments, but every character has that. I think Olivia, probably on like, in terms of like, I don't know how the script is going to go, honestly. I don't know how the script is going to go. I hope it goes well. She seems like a nice girl. Gabe Walker. What is one current Fire Emblem game that could have a sequel that would be potentially good? Kissy Face and Hearts. A sequel that could be potentially good. I'm gonna say Conquest. I'd like to see a sequel of Conquest, honestly. I would like to see a sequel of Conquest where Conquest just ended up being the canon thing, which obviously it's I mean, it might be. I don't know. I mean, it's probably not. It probably is definitely Revelation. But if they were just like, they threw a total curveball and they were like, yeah, Conquest is like the canon ending. And then we got to see like this rise of like the Hoshiden rebellion, like, cause there's so much like open-ended and loose threads with the two other paths that it's like, it would like, if Revelation didn't exist and like only one game like Birthright or Conquest being the specific one was the only FE15 game, then it would be super sequel baity, and I would love that. Just like what happens when Corrin was just like a total dumbass and like just ruined an entire country. How is that country gonna fight back? How would that country react? And you had like the Conquest style gameplay, and then they would correct all the mistakes they made in the other game, or in the old Conquest. The story would end up being a lot more tight and a lot better and a lot more emotionally thrilling, because we have this emotional disconnect with Corrin. Well, I did, for like the entire time. We understand the flaws of Corrin. We understand that his trust is something that ended up getting a lot of people screwed over. What is the reaction of them? What was like, why? Maybe they could explore like why Hinoka was so passive about the thing. Maybe Hinoka didn't have a choice. I don't know. Maybe they could have just went in all these things. Maybe Hinoka actually just hates them and she was just masking it, or I don't know. Like, if they made a sequel to Conquest, I think that would be like, and if they like pulled off a good story from that, like this big, like, we're gonna get Corrin back and Corrin might be like the bad guy or something, or like they did this like Path of Radiance, Radiant Dawn type thing, I think it'd be pretty sweet. Like, pull that whole like multiple party controlling thing again, like Radiant Dawn did. Could have a really cool game. Lukey at K-Pop Hell. Favorite archetype in the series? Like Jagan or Camus, etc. Probably I don't know. Like, I do like the Christmas Knights. That's a nice archetype. I like when they do that. I'm always fond of Christmas Knights. What else? What's a good archetype? I don't know. I kind of forget them all. Gold at school, Game and Gold. What do you think of Heroes and what it's done for the series thus far? I love Heroes. I already talked about Heroes in a podcast before. I think it's doing great for people to get introduced into Fire Emblem. In fact, one of my coworkers, I was like, hey, you play Dokkan Battle? Here's another gacha game that you might like. And he was like, well, it looks so cool. And I was like, yeah, it's like the really basics for Fire Emblem, and there's a weapon triangle, and there's a bunch of characters, and their art's really pretty. And don't you like it? You should download it and stuff. I think Heroes is doing a great thing. I think Heroes is doing great. It's giving a lot of attention to Fire Emblem. It's helping me because I'm making content about it, and I'm enjoying the game. I love doing the F2P activity. I love making shitposts about Fire Emblem Heroes. It's just a fun game to make fun of. It's easy to make fun of Fire Emblem Heroes. It does so many weird things. In fact, that game is kind of like a Kaga game in the sense that like it does the craziest things no one sees coming, and it just does it because it's just like whatever. Like, let's just give these stupid skills that are at first really, oh, she's gonna break the game, but then she's like, oh wait, I guess she's not because she has a glaring weakness or something. It does these really bold steps that really, for me, like as a map and story guy, it's kind of inspiring to see the crazy things that Heroes does and the depth that it's willing to go and the risks it's willing to take. And that being said, I understand the resentment towards like, oh, it's a gacha game, there's gambling. That argument, I get it. Honestly, don't really care. It's my money. I'm an adult. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's definitely a case for like it encourages gambling. And I've seen some Reddit posts. Well, I've seen Mecha's video about it. I shouldn't say I saw Mecha's video about it. And then I saw Mangs' response to it. And I kind of side more with Mangs, but I get where both sides are coming from. Yeah. I mean, if you have an addictive personality, then that's an issue. But I don't. So I think the gameplay is solid. I think it's just killing it. I think whatever brains are behind that project is just like, give me an autograph, please. Justin Electric, how do you feel about the new banner that's about to drop in Heroes regarding the FE4 one? I dig it. I mean, I'm excited to compare like the fake Sigurd and Deirdre to the real one. I'm surprised Tilty was in there. I just kind of threw me off. I was like, really? They picked her? And I'm sure that was the reaction for a lot of people who were expecting like Levin or I don't know, like who else? Levin. Yeah, there's another character that's in my head that I think could have been Arden. Yeah, like those characters. I was like, oh, really? Maybe they were gonna go with the more like kind of iconic FE4 characters. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, Era's, I guess she could be iconic. I don't know. I don't know how popular she is. Maybe Tilty is really iconic. Who knows? But yeah, I thought I was thrown in for a loop there. I think Sigurd's art is pretty nice. I think Deirdre's art's pretty nice. I mean, Tilty's art's pretty nice. They're all. I feel like Sigurd's art's very clean. He has very clean art. It's very like FE4 clean. It just feels like a very like clean portrait. I don't know. I like it. I like the color scheme of it, the white and the blue, in contrast to like the white overtaking the blue, in contrast to Selef's, who is blue, like kind of covering like there's white with blue trim, blue with white trim is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I want to compare the lines. That's really what I want to do. I was surprised. I guess there's never going to be a staff character ever in Fire Emblem Heroes anymore. Because I legitimately thought that they were going to make Deirdre a staff user. Because she is like, she has the silence staff. Like, she comes in the game with silence. She's like, oh, let me take care of this shaman who has like this long-range death machine friggin' spell. And no, she's a blue tome user. So I guess staff users are dead. I guess that's a wrap. Sigurd is beefy. Me and Phoenix, when we were making the fake video script, we were like, oh, maybe we should give like Sigurd Holy Tearfing or something. And then I think we actually discussed like Speed Smoke, or like attack smoke or some shit like that. We actually discussed that, like a smoke skill. And we decided not to do either of those things, only for those two things to actually be in the actual official Sigurd. So, yeah, I mean, we literally thought that. I think I literally have like text, like screenshots of our text talking about maybe we should give Sigurd like Divine Tearfing or Holy Tearfing and give him a smoke skill or something. I legitimately have screen caps of that. We almost went with it, but ultimately we decided to go with Kanto and the normal Tearfing. But yeah, given Heroes is just so crazy. Like, I've learned that you cannot predict anything in Heroes because whatever you predict is not weird enough. Like, it's just not creative enough, or it's not like out there enough to be like at all accurate. Like, there is no way you can accurately call anything in Heroes unless you're Favaro, who actually has inside info. You can guess anything. You can make any prediction you want because like you can kind of like try to find like a pattern in what Heroes has done and like kind of assume what they could do with like a kit or something, or like what the next Grand Hero battle can be based on what's not there yet. But you are never going to be right. Like, you are most of the time never going to be right. Like, unless it's an absolute given, like Sigurd and Deirdre are probably going to make it to the game because they're the iconic Fire Emblem couple. Sigurd is whatever. I just think it's impossible. Like, I've literally failed so many times at predicting Fire Emblem Heroes stuff. It's just not gonna. It's just so hard. Like, they just do whatever the hell they want. They do whatever they want. You can just call anything and like say, oh, look, I told you so. When it comes out, it's just like, dude, you guessed. It was guesswork. You didn't like you guessed that would happen because anything can happen in this game. Like, literally anything can happen in Heroes. It's nuts. The game's crazy. The game just does whatever it wants. It's madness. It's a madness of a game. Man, I'm so tired. I'm just like rambling and like yelling into the microphone. I don't care. Gold at school. What do you think of Heroes and... Oh, I already answered that question. Howlin' Dog. Best old man in Fire Emblem. Mulder? Duh. Dusel? Duh. Yoder? Duh. Yeah. Dohi Wario. Favorite Fire Emblem Heroes character art. Ooh. Christmas Robin. Never mind. Easy question. Christmas Robin. Best character. Funniest expression. Just the best. Easily the best one. Autocam. Acdectory. What were the classes you most enjoyed taking in college? Rock and roll history, because I never knew that, and now I do, which is pretty sweet. And I guess Gods, Heroes, and Monsters. It was ancient times of like Greek and Roman mythical stories and stuff, which is pretty sweet. Comment down below if you yawned after I yawned. It means you're empathetic. It's science. It's true. Vincinius M. What do you think about Stefan and POR? Dude, that guy's crazy. That guy's actually pretty freaking cool. I actually do like Stefan. Who is your favorite Wyvern Rider, Wyvern Lord in the franchise? I don't know. Maybe does Trevant count? Because I liked him. I like Trevant. I think he was a cool dude. Let's see. FE5, no. FE6, FE7, FE8, Cormag, Falter, FE9, FE2. Jill's up there. FE10, FE11. I don't know anything about Jerome, so I can't say. I don't know anything about Cherche, so I can't say. Baraka's whatever. Camilla's, guys know my feelings on Camilla. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I should put more thought into these questions. I couldn't tell you. This witch empty eats at Hero Felicia. Gas, when do you plan on resuming your Awakening playthrough? That's a good question. When do I plan on resuming that? I don't know. I do not know. I'll probably not. I'll be honest. I started the randomized FE8, but I quickly realized that I just don't have the energy to play through that. My mentality is honestly in just reading and like I said, doing more scripted stuff. I'm really in that zone and I don't really feel like doing like playthroughs. Yeah. That being said, Warriors is coming up, so we'll see. JCC0622, where did you learn to speak French? In Canada. And do you specifically want to learn how to? And did you specifically want to learn? I was just put in immersion when I was a kid, and it was probably one of the better decisions because it's nice to be able to be bilingual. Justin Vong, if you take one thing from the previous Fire Emblem games and make if you can take one thing from the previous FE games and make a wild new game, what would they be? Oh geez. Okay. Let's pretend Gaiden is just Echoes. So I think Echoes, the voice acting. Early game warp and rescue, golden. So I'll take three things from Echoes. The voice acting, early game warp and rescue, yes. From FE4, Kanto from FE5, capturing from FE6, probably nothing from FE7. Well, of course, trading and stuff like that too. Trading in FE5. FE5 introduced a lot of stuff that got taken out at FE6. FE7, probably the character-driven storylines. FE8, I don't know, the writing quality of the supports, maybe. FE9, probably. Geez, I don't know. Because the cast of FE9 was also really good. There's something. Shove being innately in FE9, yes. FE10 probably there's something in FE10 that I like. There's something, I know it. There's something in FE10 that I remember liking, but I don't know yet. I don't remember. Maybe, no, you don't really need T3s, honestly. I haven't played FE9 in a while, so I don't really remember. FE11, never played. Oh, FE11 was the speed and canceling enemy phase. So the quality of life stuff from FE11, because it just applied through every other game afterwards. FE12, the My Unit, but just maybe taking a lesser role in that, and just I kind of would like the My Unit thing to just be like a really non-important role in the game, just like you're actually just a soldier in the army instead of like a close advisor to the main guy. FE13 probably the easily buildable supports. FE Fates would be the skill system, which was amazing, I think. Yeah, that would be like, put all those together with Conquest's like map design, and you got like the best game ever, or something like that. I don't know. I would play a game like that. Phoenix of Hope at Luigi Master X. What was your first FE game? FE7. Kai at Sirkintic. If you could create one Fire Emblem game besides what you are working on behind the scenes, what would the premise be? Jeez, I don't know. Why can't I just say Bloodlines? Because I'm definitely working on that, and that is one I've put the most stock into. So I'll try to answer the question. What would the premise be? Okay, I'm gonna think of something right off the top of my head in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, there's a kingdom, and there is a group of mercenaries, and one of them was born with like evil blood, and he's like destined to do something evil. And he's a Myrmidon, and he at base kit has a killing edge, and his partner in crime is a shaman, and he has a healer friend who is a girl who he's really into, and they like to do like on-screen flirting, but they never really do anything. So that's the core of like the team. And then the premise is that their kingdom gets exploded, and then they get hunted down because they're closely affiliated with that place, and they need the blood of the Myrmidon guy. So he's running away. He's getting chased down by the army, and then he seeks asylum in another country, and then that country fights that country, and the Myrmidon mercenary guy is like, okay, I'll develop my strength, and I'll help fight you because they're after me, and I don't want to be a part of something, and I don't want to like have danger go wherever I go. So then he fights the enemy army, and then he's getting beat up, and his shaman friend sacrifices himself, which really pisses him off. And then his girlfriend, who is now his girlfriend, who is the healer, is kidnapped, and the evil dark dragon blood inside of him grows and becomes like, he promotes from an event where he goes crazy, and then he becomes like the shonen protagonist, where like he becomes like, he's like a Dragonstone-esque character, where like he can like transform into some like dragon monster thing back into his sword form, and then he like has to fight to avenge his friend and also save his woman. And that's the premise, which is basically a really shitty fan fiction ROM hack plus the kind of aspects of like FE1. Yes, that is my premise for Not Bloodlines, the game. We're nearing 50 minutes here, so I'll answer one more question. What is one of your favorite Jamal Young at Jam and Ren? What is one of your favorite memories from your college life? Oh geez. Girls' night. Okay, so this was the funniest thing I've done. So I was still playing college basketball at the time, and we finished practice, and we had this plan to have a girls' night where it would be me and the third floor of the residence I was staying in, who were all like super close. We were super close friends, and we were at the like really obnoxious like freshman second year age where we were just like really loud, and we thought that we were like top shit. But we kind of were, because like everyone loved us in the floor, and that was all that mattered. Like we were a unit. We stuck around. We were the guys who were like, we love to yell, we love to party in the res, and we love to like be social butterflies and stuff. That was our thing, and everyone loved it, and we were just great people. And so one time we had a girls' night where we all bought Sourpuss, and Sourpuss is like a it's like basically alcohol mixed with like Kool-Aid. It was like super sugary drinks, and it was so bad. It was disgusting. But we all bought like a quart of it, and we just played like zombies, and we just drank that and listened to like really girly pop music and stuff. And we like decorated the res room like all pink and shit, like just like straight up girls' night and stuff. I mean, we played zombies for a bit, but honestly, it wasn't really fitting with the theme, so we stopped. But the whole thing was that anyway. So I get out of practice, I rush over to the apartment to the residence, and I have like a quart of like grape sourpuss, and I just tank it. I just destroy it. Like, I'm so dehydrated from practice, I'm just like, I don't care. I drink the entire thing, very irresponsible, and like literally in a minute I bump into a bed, and I'm like, I'm just dead. I'm just out. I'm so drunk because I drank no water, and the thing I drink is just like pure sugar and alcohol. Funniest night ever though. So fun. That's a really fond memory of mine. There was another time where I pretended I was a bouncer at a freshman party when I was in second year, and my friends were all like freshmen, like Frosh Week people, like Frosh Week and like I guess leaders or whatever, Frosh leaders. And I was pretending that I was a bouncer, and I was actually tricking freshmen into giving me into being like, you, how old are you? Like, are you of age to be at this party? And some of them actually like thought I was serious, and it was so funny because I was just like, no, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. That was a fun time. That was jokes. Nate at the Red Scissor. If they kept pair up in the mechanic of Effie Switch, would you change something about it or keep it the way it was in Fades? I don't know. I mean, it's cool in the sense that you can really like get creative with how you move around the map, but I don't think you need pair up to make a good Fire Emblem game in 2017. I wouldn't mind if they got rid of it. I don't think they will though. I think Echoes prove that you really don't need pair up to have a still fun Fire Emblem game. I don't know. Maybe like I think I would be comfortable seeing a game without it, but I would be like, I would bear with it being back in the game. Yeah. And the last one by Trashy Spades. Oh, that was already a question. Thoughts on Thracia so far? I already talked about it. Sam at this Sam 1327. How do Sigurd and Deirdre from today's Heroes announcement compare to your leaks? Do you like Heroes version better? I think they're wildly different. I mean, like, the Heroes versions are just like stat wise just crazy. I don't know what the bases are, but yeah, I mean, I think Deirdre's voice is something that caught me off guard. I thought she would be more like less Julia-ish and more like juvenile. But we'll see what the voice acting is like. We'll see what the lines are. That's what I'm most curious about, because that's what I personally did the most on. I wrote all the lines. I did the line direction. I did the the confession, the level 45-star confession dialogue. So I want to see what that compares to. Stat wise, whatever. I mean, it's so crazily different. We were gonna go with ideas in the build up to the video that we ended up scrapping, that ended up actually just being in the game anyway, which I think is kind of hilarious. If we actually went through with that, it would be kind of mind blowing. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't expect Deirdre to have like a souped up Naga spell, but she does. I think healers are dead in Heroes now. I don't think they're ever going to come back. I think they're just done now. I'm obviously kidding. It's going to happen. I really thought Deirdre was going to be a healer though. That was a big surprise to me. I really thought Deirdre was going to be a healer. I really thought she was going to be a healer, but she's not. So you never know. Anyway, so that's it. That's 55 minutes of a podcast. I'm just going to upload this and just say, hope you have fun listening to me for 55 minutes. Have a good day, guys. Well, that's my new voice, by the way. This is like a character that I made. at work, which is like this really nervous guy. I call him Spencer, and he talks like this. And you know, Fire Emblem is a game based on chess. I think there's a triangle. I don't know. You should play yourself. There's a Heroes game. Just don't play Heroes like in public, because sometimes you'll see a character that's really like over sexualized and could make people look at you funny, and it could be uncomfortable, so don't do it. We just riff on that for like we have deep riffs. We have deep riffs on that. Anyways, that'll do it for me. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you guys next. This was fun. Maybe I'll just continue on in another podcast and just continue where I left off. Anyways, guys, yeah. Deuces. That was really close to the mic.